Welcome to the Stoic Toolkit YouTube channel, where we explore valuable lessons from Stoic philosophy to live a peaceful and meaningful life. Hit subscribe and join us on the journey of personal growth and inner freedom. There are 4 toxic habits that can significantly cause people to lose respect for you. These aren't just harmless quirks. They are behaviors that can tear apart your reputation and destroy meaningful relationships. You might be thinking, come on, everyone has bad habits. And you're right. But the habits we're discussing today are particularly damaging because they go straight to the heart of how we connect with others. They can turn a blossoming friendship or professional connection sour in no time. To make this topic more relatable, I'm going to share a few of my own personal experiences. Trust me, I've made my fair share of mistakes, and I've learned plenty from them. These stories may be a little raw, but I believe opening up about them will help us all learn and grow. By recognizing these habits, we can begin to live lives full of dignity and respect. In this journey, we'll also pull inspiration from Stoicism, a powerful philosophy that has timeless lessons for leading a virtuous and fulfilling life. Stoicism isn't just about enduring hardship, it's about cultivating inner peace, resilience, and integrity. So grab a cup of coffee, relax, and let's dive into these habits. Habit #1. Gossiping. Let's talk about gossiping. We all know how easy it is to get caught up in it. We may feel like it's a harmless way to bond with others, but gossip is one of the most toxic habits you can indulge in. When I was in college, gossiping was like a sport. My friends and I would spend hours dissecting the tiniest details of others' lives. At first it felt fun, even harmless, like we were in on some big secret. But the truth, gossip destroys trust and respect. One particular incident stands out. There was a girl in our group, let's call her Emily. She was different, introverted, and didn't always fit in. One day I found out that Emily had a crush on a guy who was, well, way out of her league. Instead of keeping that to myself, I shared it with my friends. We laughed about it, and before we knew it, the story had spread like wildfire. Not long after, Emily found out. The look on her face when she realized her private feelings had been turned into a joke was devastating. She stopped coming around and eventually left the group. At that time, I brushed it off, but deep down, I knew I had crossed a line. The Stoics teach us that we should focus on cultivating our own character, not meddling in the affairs of others. Gossip isn't just a time waster, it's a trust killer. As Epictetus said, keep silence for the most part, and speak only when you must, and then briefly. Gossip erodes trust and turns every conversation into something potentially destructive. People won't trust you if they believe you will talk about them behind their backs. I learned this lesson the hard way when I betrayed my coworker John's trust. He confided in me about a serious health issue, but instead of respecting his privacy, I told a few colleagues. When he found out, he confronted me, not angrily, but with a deep look of hurt and disappointment. From that day on, our relationship at work was never the same. I had lost his trust and respect, and I knew it was my fault. The lesson here: respect others' privacy. The Stoics emphasize positive and constructive conversation. Instead of tearing others down, focus on building them up with your words. If someone is willing to gossip to you, they'll likely gossip about you too. Habit #2. Being unreliable. Now let's talk about being unreliable, a habit that can severely erode the respect others have for you. Reliability is the foundation of any relationship, whether personal or professional. If people can't depend on you, they will quickly lose respect. In my early 20s, I was known as the flaky one among my friends. I'd make plans and cancel last minute or just not show up at all. I thought it was no big deal. Life's busy, right? But one particular instance made me realize just how damaging this habit was. My friend Sarah was throwing a big birthday party, and she had spent weeks planning every detail. I promised I'd be there, but on the day of the party I decided to skip it for something else, and didn't even let her know until hours after the event had started. When I finally called her, I could hear the disappointment in her voice. She didn't say much, but I knew I had let her down. From that moment on, our friendship wasn't the same. She stopped inviting me to things, and we drifted apart. Habit #3. Interrupting others. Here's a habit that many people don't realize they have: interrupting others. This is a major sign of disrespect. When you interrupt someone, you're essentially telling them, "What I have to say is more important than what you're saying." It's not just rude, it's dismissive and undermines the value of the other person's thoughts. I used to be a chronic interrupter. I thought it made me seem more enthusiastic or intelligent, but in reality, it made me seem disrespectful. I remember one instance in my early career where I was part of a brainstorming team. I constantly jumped in with my own ideas, cutting people off mid-sentence. It wasn't until my manager stopped the meeting and said, "You need to let people finish their thoughts," that I realized how I was coming across. A colleague even pulled me aside afterward and said, "Do you realize how dismissive you seem?" That hit me hard. Interrupting shows a lack of self-control and respect. The Stoics believed in the value of listening and understanding before speaking. As Seneca advised, be patient and considerate in your conversations. Another instance that stood out for me was when I interrupted a friend who was sharing a personal story. I thought I was being helpful, but I was hijacking his moment. Listening isn't just about hearing words, it's about being present and allowing others to express themselves fully. To break this habit, practice active listening. When someone speaks, really listen. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Allow others to finish their thoughts before responding. This simple act shows respect and strengthens your relationships. Habit #4. Complaining. Lastly, let's address complaining, a habit that not only annoys others but can be seriously corrosive to your relationships. A little venting now and then is okay, but constant complaining makes you a negative presence in any environment. I used to be a chronic complainer. In a job I once had, I would constantly gripe about my workload, the disorganization of management, and how undervalued I felt. I thought venting would help me bond with others, but it only made people avoid me. Eventually, a close friend told me, "I love you, but you're becoming really negative. It's exhausting to be around you." That was a wake-up call. Complaining keeps you focused on problems instead of solutions. It's a sign of negativity that can turn people away. The Stoics believed in focusing on what you can control and accepting what you can't. By practicing gratitude and focusing on solutions, you can turn around your mindset and earn back respect. I learned this lesson when working on a group project in college. One of my teammates, Mike, was always complaining about the workload. It brought down the entire team's morale. I realized that my own complaints might have done the same to those around me. So I made a conscious effort to shift my focus from complaints to solutions. This change in attitude helped me rebuild trust and respect, and it significantly improved my relationships. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might benefit from hearing these insights. Let's strive to live more respectful, thoughtful lives. Until next time, stay strong, stay stoic.